Welcome everybody to another workout with Aaron Briggs. We are here and just happy to move with you and hopefully be building a little bit of a community with you to help us have fun and make ourselves a little better.
Absolutely, yeah. So today is a stretch day. Sundays are almost always going to be a little bit more focused on flexibility. And before we jump into what we're doing here, my quick reminder is that we're aiming to move and exercise a little bit each day. Usually we say a minimum of about 20 minutes. And if you're doing it every day, 20 minutes should be just fine. You can always go more. Because today is a stretching day, I would encourage you to get out and actually go for a walk if it's nice out, or to go back and do some of our other videos. You could do another cardio day, you could do another strength day, and the goal would be probably to keep it on the light end. And that would be in addition to what you're doing here. So today, you saw us do some get-ups, and that's because we're, again, working on some of our hip flexibility. And the move of the day is actually related to what we're doing here, which is called cross-leg sitting. And you might remember from doing this when you were in kindergarten, or for some of you it maybe has been that long. Mags and I were laughing when we were sitting this way, because sitting, everyone has their favorite side, right? You start with one leg under the other one, and then you saw we just switched, and Maggie was like, that is weird, right? You notice some different flexibility issues. And so we focus on this posture because it's one that we get into. It's one that you start off by doing. Kids kind of do it naturally, and then over time you kind of forget about it. So this is one of those ones that will help with your ability to bend your knees, like we said, when we're walking, when we're lunging, going up steps, or even sitting down. And then it also works with something that we call hip rotation, and that's the ability of your leg to kind of twist in or out. And again, that's a big one for us being able to move around. So the first stretch that you're gonna see me do is what's called a supine stretch. And all that means is that I'm laying back and I'm hugging one knee into my chest. If you wanna try doing this here, you certainly can. And remember, there's no stopwatch on today because it's not really a time-based thing. Usually I'll hold for a few breaths, and what you're seeing me do when I hold that one knee back is it's the other leg, that free leg is bent, that foot's on the ground, and it's hanging out to the side and then really kind of opening and closing. And so if you were gonna do just the stretch, you'd hold your knee to your chest and then keep that other leg bent and let it just hang out to the side. If you wanted to do a little motion with it, you breathe in, bring the leg in, breathe out, push the leg back out to the side. And you've seen me switch now to a little more of an advanced mode. For some people, they won't feel that stretch with the bent leg, and so you can go with a straight leg stretch. And you'll hear me, you're kind of gesturing right there that it's feeling like it's a stretch on that inner thigh. And again, you could just hold it out to the side, or if you want that dynamic part, that little bit of movement, you will then kind of push it up and down, almost like you're trying to scrape the floor with it a little bit. So give that one a shot. And again, if you want to just, we're going to move on to a different stretch, but if you'd like to try something on your own, go ahead and pause the video and try doing both of those. Hold one knee to your chest and let a leg stay out. Hold it for 30 seconds, hold it for 10 breaths, whatever you want to do, and then try motion for about breaths. And again, you're going to see us trying these stretches all next week. The second stretch that goes along with the ability for you to be able to sit cross-leg and kind of work with that ability of your leg to kind of move in and out is called a frog stretch, or a Frogger stretch. And to do that, you're gonna see Maggie starting on all fours. She's on her hands and her knees. And then a key position, you'll see me telling her, is to one, try to touch her toes together. So even with her knees pushing apart, her feet are gonna stay close together. Megs, how did that feel when you were doing that?
You know, I didn't feel a ton of stretch, and then I think I understood a little more what you were asking me to do, and then you can see that I just slowly started moving my knees farther apart from one another, and that's when it started to feel, I felt a little stretch in my inner thigh. And then I think one of the options that you had me do here also was putting my toes or my feet out. And that felt pretty good too. And then I just moved them back in to feel that stretch a little bit more. So.
Sure. Yeah, and that's a comfort thing. That's a great thing that you brought up. Whether your feet touch or if they're pushed out does change the stretch a little bit, but go with always what's comfortable for you. Go with what feels best. So the static or the holding part of it is where you're just trying to lightly push your knees apart. And by the way, if you're on a rug or on hard floor, sometimes on hard floor it's actually easier if you put your knees on a couple of towels. They slide apart much easier. And then the motion part of it, you can see Maggie is rocking back and forth lightly.
Yeah, forward and back.
Forward and back, and you can feel the stretch a little differently there as well. That would be the, if you're going to hold for 10 breaths and then rock forward for 10 breaths, you could kind of rock forward based on your breathing. So yeah, those are the 2 key stretches. And again, we'll be focusing on those all this week. After all of our exercises, we'll do one of those stretches. We'll kind of rock back and forth between each one each day. So you'll get a little more practice doing it. The idea is that you really get to stretch that for about a week. And if it feels good, you keep doing it. Those stretches that we did last week, the modified down dog and the 90-90 stretch, those are ones that if you were thinking, oh my goodness, that feels so good. Oh my gosh, keep doing them, right?
Yeah.
Keep adding them to your repertoire, add them to your library, and go with it. Okay, more tomorrow. We loved seeing you. We loved working with you today. Remember, today was a stretch. Go get some cardio on your own.
Make it a great day.